So if you're still grinding microstake 6 max hoping to move up one day, this update might save you years of wasted effort because the truth is microstake 6 max is a trap, and I'm going to break down why it's holding you back. And let's be honest, microstake 6 max sounds like the perfect place to sharpen your skills, right? You're up against weaker players. But here's the issue. The rake at these levels is insane. In some games, it can eat up to 10 to 15 big blinds per 100 hands. That means even if you're a decent player with a win rate of, 5 big blinds per 100 hands, the rake alone makes you feel like a losing player. And here's another myth. Micro stakes is good for learning. Not really. This is just kind of like, hear me out. So, you're not going to face serious aggression. Players rarely bluff, and then you're also not training decision-making skills under pressure. You're basically just playing ABC poker on autopilot, and this is a huge problem, right? This just teaches you bad habits like, overfolding or relying too much on value hands. Once you hit low or mid stakes, you're going to start to realize skills from playing these micro games don't transfer at all. Now let's talk about time investment versus skill development. So like, let's say you play a couple thousand hands a day, 6 tabling or 4 tabling for like 4 to 6 hours. You might clear 15 a day if you run well. Let that sink in, man. We're talking minimum wage pays more, right? And if you take the game seriously and want to get better, you need to optimize for skill growth, time leverage, and ROI per session, right? And micro stake 6 max gives you none of that. It's slow, capped, and it's often frustrating. So what's the better path? You need to challenge yourself by moving up, even if it's just one level from where you're currently at. Better yet, join our community where we go over hand analysis, and you can get some help from me and others who are probably playing above where you're at, and we actually support each other. You could also get on our newsletter as well. That's all going to be in the pinned comments. All right, guys. But like, look, if you enjoy 6 max micro games, cool. But if your goal is to improve long term, it's time to pivot. Okay, next I'd like to get in some gameplay for you guys, and I recommend watching this to the end because we basically got well over a double up. Tap the like and let's get right into this. And if you guys, I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of hate for what I'm talking about here today, but I just feel like I've been doing this long enough where I can actually help a lot of you out there, right? Especially if you're stuck, right? If you're stuck, that's also an issue. There's not one type of strategy that's gonna like take you basically into like God mode when you're playing. That's another thing you gotta understand. GTO is not gonna do anything for you really. It's good to just know some of the different strategies, but you just wanna apply pressure, exploit players, and that's what this really all comes down to. You also just want to adjust the players at your table. And like I said too, if you have a hard time transitioning to the next level from where you're currently playing, whatever it is, you could always move back down, right? And try again. But I just think that you need to push yourself a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Anyways. But we are at some interesting spots in this one, like I said. So you are going to want to kind of sit back and, I'll go over my thought process on a lot of these different situations. All right, here we had a Jack 10 in the big. Not a bad hand to defend with, even from like an early position raiser, like first or second to act. You're still going to want to protect with this hand, especially in like the big or small blind, right? Because you just don't know, and you could always outplay somebody. Now, player 5 was doing really good at this table, and then player 3 and 6. We had a lot of people doing really good at this one for sure. Everyone, All right, but here we go. Gonna defend, and I mean, really nothing there. However, a lot of good turn cards could help us here. I mean, 9 on the turn would be good. Give us an up and down, pairing the jack, and instead of just flatting this, I actually raised it a little bit, just applying a little bit of pressure. It just felt like player 6 didn't really have a whole lot here. That's why I kind of made this play, and it worked. Turn card, I believe, was going to be a jack, so we were going to get there on the turn. But I did like applying pressure right there. I think it was a good play, and it was because it worked out. All right, here with 9s in the small. Gonna, I think, just call it early position guy right here. And we're going to see a flop. We are going to see a flop, guys. All right. I'm pretty sure this was a good one too. We'll find out in a second. Okay, and it was. Couple things here. I'm really just hoping our opponent has some type of ace X here, like ace 10, anything really. He went with such a small sizing here. I needed to kind of build this. Plus, there's a lot of draws out there too. Got a lot of king queens, king 10s, queen 10 suiteds. So yeah, I'm definitely going to kick this up just based on the flop, you know, what came out. It's always going to be different. Unfortunately for us, he didn't have anything or didn't want to continue. Turn card would have been a king. It is what it is, guys. All right, on to the next one. A little bit frustrating kind of spot right there, but what are you going to do? All right, here we had a 7-10 suited. It's not like this is a super strong hand here. However, I do like to mix things up, especially playing mid stakes like this, which is another thing that you know, it is good to kind of open your game up a little bit and just mix things up. You don't want to be playing ABC, you know, as a style. Got to get away from that. And player 2 is going to kick this up a little bit. We're going to make a call. Now, we know that when we're getting raised here, we're going to be getting raised by hands, obviously a lot better. A lot of ace kings, a lot of ace queens, mid pocket pairs, things like that. And I'm going to make a call here. We are going to see what happens and just kind of go from there. And I don't think anybody else is going to call, but this was a very interesting hand. All right, we did pair the 7. We also have the possibility to hit like runner cards for a flush. We could also hit some 2 pairs on the turn. You know, we could hit 10. We could also hit trips. I mean, we could hit a 7. So we're not going to be going anywhere. And this guy is likely going to be repping a lot of over cards, like I said. Now, we got the dagger to the heart card on the turn here with the 7, you know, just a dagger, right? And this is where I'm basically making a play at this. My play right here looks a little bluffy, you know what I'm saying, just based on the sizing. And that's exactly what I wanted this guy to be thinking, like, okay, does this guy have it or is he just full of it? I wanted him to think that. So he is going to make a call here. We are going to get to the river, and I'll tell you guys what, like, there is obviously like there's a lot of draws out there, a lot of straight draws, flush draw. The ace on the river was exactly the card we needed. So if he was floating us, not believing us, which is exactly what I think was going on here, he's in trouble because it's going to be almost impossible to get away. So I went for a pretty big sizing here, 242. I mean, we're getting beefy here, guys. We're beefing it up. And like I said, I'm doing this because if he hit that ace, which he likely did, he was floating us, and I know exactly what he was doing, he's going to be in a really tough spot here. It's like I have it or I don't, you know? And what am I doing this with? 7-5? Or is it just a misdraw? You just don't know, right? And that's why I overbet. I'm sorry, I went a little bit more than pot size here. I think it looks bluffy, and that's exactly what I was trying to get in this guy's head. Let's see what he does. He is going to let this tank for a while. Got to imagine he's got ace king or ace queen in this spot, and he's just in a really hard spot, you know? He put the time bank on here, and I'm just sitting here just like just do this, man. Come on. Just make this call. That's all I'm thinking about right now. And I mean, he really was thinking about this. And he did make the call, and we got a nice one right there, guys. And I think, I mean, it's not that I think. I put him on exactly the type of hand he had, and he just couldn't get away from it. And I totally get it. So we definitely outplayed our opponent right there. That was a good play we made, and, you know, on to the next one. And we're not done. We still got some other good spots to go over here, and it's gonna get a lot better too. I mean, but it's always nice to kind of start things off, you know, like that. But you know, a lot of this, like I said, just kind of comes down to opening your game up a little bit, getting away from playing like an ABC GTO type of style, exploiting players, adjusting to the table, putting them on ranges. It's a lot of skills that you stack over time. None of this just happens, right? You know, if I hadn't been playing for almost like 2 decades, probably, like I wouldn't, be able to have such a deep understanding of this stuff, guys. I mean, obviously there are going to be times where you're playing and you lose, but oh man, I'll tell you what, it's just there's just a commitment to this, right? And kind of back to those micro games, like I understand why people are playing them, but at some point you got to start like using your head a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta start asking yourself, what are you doing, especially if you're just wasting so much time. All right, anyways, we had a 4-6 suited. I think I am going to make a call here because, you don't know. Until this happened, player 5 came over the top. I had to let this go. Player 6 called with an ace-king, ace-jack versus ace-king. He paired the king. And player 5, yeah, oof, that was even worse right there. I mean, he got the boat. So ace-jack did not work out. RIP. And here we go. All right, next time we had threes. Player 5 was back in this, and he started off bad. I mean, yeah, just player 5, not his day, clearly. Now, first or second act, when you have like a small pair like this, I think it's okay to limp. You don't want to make a habit of it, but I think limping into this was totally fine. So, but you can mix it up. It's just you don't want to put so much into this type of hand when you're first or second to act, because a lot of the time, let's be honest, it just doesn't work out for these small pairs. But, here we go. Over to player 5. I believe he is going to raise it up here. Not super big, but he kind of did. All right, put a 30-piece chicken nugget right here, guys. Dipping it in some BBQ. I am going to make a call here. 30-piece chicken nugget. Now, this flop was interesting. Like I said, a lot of interesting spots in this. And guess what? We got it. We got the 3 here, all hearts. It's never easy. It's always just like, can't you just make it easy, He's going to come over the top for a lot. There's no way that I'm getting away. I make the call. He's going to turn over ace-9. And I'll tell you what, drawing dead on the turn's a really good feeling. So good he didn't have a heart. He wouldn't have got there if he had a heart anyways. Like if he had ace-queen and he had the heart, he wasn't going to get there. And it held up. And I'll tell you what, good for us, not good for him. And player 5, just not his day. And that's just how it goes sometimes, even though I think that he was just kind of tilted at that point and he didn't really need to like make that type of play, which puts us in a good spot here. And, we're kind of just chugging along, I guess. Is that the word I'm going to use? Chugging along. I like that. I like the chugging along. All right. All right, anyways, 3-8. Still got a few more hands to go over here, guys. So hope you're enjoying what you're seeing so far. And you know what? Tap that like for me. Come on now, tap that like. All right, so here we go. Kind of like, I think this is going to be like the final hand of this. And it pretty clean run out with this king, queen. Now, let's be honest. Like, a lot did go my way in this. I kind of made my own, with the 7-10 suited. But, here we go with the king, queen suited. Obviously we're going to mix this up here. We're going to open. I think player 2 is going to raise it up a little bit, but we're suited, so, we're not going anywhere here. We are not going anywhere. We are making this call. Okay, yeah, he's gonna kick it up. I think maybe like 40, something like that. Sounds about right. I could be wrong, but we'll see. Now you could make the argument for me to actually raise here. It's just that I didn't. I just called here. We're up against a lot of ace-x, maybe some mid pairs and stuff, but We paired the king here. We'd also have a diamond draw. And check out this turn card. This isn't exactly the turn card I wanted to see, but it's going to give us the royal on the turn, I believe. I mean, what else can you say? He continued here pretty small. Be kind of gross if he had like pocket tens or something here. But yeah, check this out. So we need the jack of diamonds for it. I mean, I couldn't believe, you know, you don't like seeing the ace, but at the same time, you're kind of like, okay, are we gonna get the jack of diamonds here? I mean, that would be, I don't even know how to put it into words. Player two, I'm assuming, is going to continue here, but like I said, we're not going to be able to get away. Some hands to be worried about, obviously pocket tens, ace 10. But yeah, the ace was not really the card we wanted to see, especially with a paired board. But we're not going anywhere. All right, he went for a pretty big sizing. We called, and we did end up hitting the flush on the river. The thing though is, guys, like, I wasn't exactly sure if this was going to be good. It felt like a possible boat. It just did to me. I could have been wrong about it. You know, maybe I was right. It is going to turn out that I was wrong. He didn't, and we are going to end up taking the sand down. But, you know, here's the thing, guys. Like, there's a lot that goes into this. I would say that if you're struggling, you know, maybe you're stuck, get in the community newsletter, whatever, subscribe. Thanks for watching this, and we'll see you in the next video.